The white rocket section is 8 centimeters from the concrete underside of the highway overpass. 8 centimeters. The driver of the lead trailer sits frozen in his cab, both hands locked on the steering wheel, staring up through the windshield. Behind him, blue and red police lights flash across the dark highway, painting the scene in pulses of color. 3 specialized trailers, each carrying a 25-meter section of a space launch vehicle, are stretched across a kilometer of closed highway at 2 in the morning. The clearance survey said 5.6 meters. The actual gap is 5.2, and the rocket section sits at 5.12 from the road surface. The convoy commander, in a reflective vest, presses his radio. They have a problem. 14 hours earlier, the aerospace assembly plant on the coast. Inside the gray hangar, 3 white rocket sections rest on orange transport cradles. Each cylinder is 25 meters long and 3.7 meters in diameter, wrapped in protective film and thermal blankets. These will become the core stage of a satellite launch vehicle. Outside, 3 specialized dark gray trailers with orange warning stripes sit in a row. Each one stretches 30 meters with a hydraulic rear steering axle. A second operator sits in a small open cab at the back, steering independently from the main driver. A yellow mobile crane extends its boom and connects 4 lifting straps to the first rocket section. The foreman on the ground raises both arms, guiding the lift. The white cylinder rises off its cradle, swings gently, and settles onto the first trailer. 4 workers in hard hats immediately begin strapping it down with nylon ratchet straps at 12 points along the length. Loading takes 5 hours. By afternoon, all 3 trailers carry their sections. The convoy lineup is set. A white police car leads, then the first trailer. A yellow escort truck with a height measuring pole follows, then the second trailer. Another escort truck, then the third trailer. A second police car closes the rear. 8 vehicles, 160 kilometers of closed highway. 1 shot. At 11:30, floodlights illuminate the convoy. Engines start. Diesel exhaust rises into the cold night air. The drivers check tire pressures one last time. The rear axle operators test their hydraulic controls. Midnight. The lead police car pulls onto the empty highway, blue and red lights sweeping across concrete barriers. The first trailer follows at 25 kilometers per hour. The white rocket section stretches behind the cab like a fallen skyscraper on wheels. Highway lampposts cast moving shadows across its surface. The rear axle operator watches his monitors in the cold, open cab. On curves, he turns his wheel opposite to the main driver, keeping the trailer tracking straight. His headset crackles with radio chatter from the lead police car. The first bridge approaches at kilometer 12. The escort technician climbs onto the yellow truck's roof with a laser measuring tool. 5.8 meters. He waves the convoy through. All 3 trailers pass cleanly. At kilometer 53, the highway curves through an industrial district. Low-hanging power lines cross the route. The utility company cut power an hour ago. Cherry picker trucks sit at each crossing, operators ready to lift any sagging cable. At one crossing, the cherry picker operator pushes the cable up with his gloved hand as the third trailer passes beneath. Bridge number 1 at kilometer 68. The technician measures again. 5.6 meters. The convoy passes under cleanly. 2 bridges remain. The next 20 kilometers are straight empty highway under sodium vapor lights. The white rocket sections glow orange under the lamps, their protective film shimmering. Police cars block every on-ramp. The road belongs to the convoy tonight. A stray cat darts across the asphalt ahead of the lead police car. The driver does not flinch. Steady speed, steady course. At kilometer 75, the convoy passes a truck stop. Behind the chain-link barrier, a row of parked semi-trucks sits dark and silent. Their drivers sleep in their cabs, unaware that 3 pieces of a space rocket are rolling past their windows. The escort truck's orange roof lights sweep across their trailers as the convoy passes. Kilometer 89, bridge number 2. The escort technician points his laser up from the yellow truck's roof. He checks the reading twice. 5.2 meters. The survey said 5.6. The road was repaved 2 weeks ago. 4 centimeters of fresh asphalt raised the surface. Nobody updated the chart. The convoy stops. 8 vehicles on the dark highway under flashing lights. 5 men in reflective vests gather under the bridge, staring up at the concrete beams. The foreman calls the transport engineer at the plant on speakerphone. One question. Do the trailers have pneumatic suspension? Yes. Full drop gives 9 centimeters. That would create 17 centimeters of clearance. Enough. But any bump or pothole under the bridge, and the rocket touches concrete. The foreman walks the road surface under the bridge with a flashlight, checking every centimeter. One small raised patch. He marks it with orange spray paint. The driver will steer around it. The rear axle operator returns to his cab. The driver activates the pneumatic drop. Air hisses from the valves. The trailer deck sinks. The white rocket section lowers centimeter by centimeter. New measurement, 5.03 meters from the ground. 17 centimeters of clearance. The driver puts the trailer in gear. 1 kilometer per hour. A worker walks alongside with a flashlight pointed straight up at the gap between rocket and bridge. Another worker walks the opposite side. The foreman stands beyond the bridge, waving the driver forward with slow hand signals. The trailer creeps under the beam. The white skin of the rocket slides beneath the concrete. 17 centimeters at the center. The rear clears. The foreman drops his hands. Through. The third trailer repeats the procedure. Drop suspension. Creep under. Workers alongside. Flashlights up. It clears. Bridge number 3 at kilometer 112 passes without drama. 5.9 meters. The convoy rolls through at speed. The last 50 kilometers are open highway. The convoy picks up to 30 kilometers per hour. Dawn breaks on the eastern horizon. The sky shifts from black to deep blue to orange. The white rocket sections catch the first sunlight, glowing warm against the cold highway. At 7:15, the convoy turns off the highway onto a private road. Chain link fence and barbed wire on both sides. Security vehicles join the escort. Ahead, the launch tower stands against the morning sky, a tall gray lattice of steel. The first trailer backs into the assembly building. Inside, the hangar is a cathedral of white walls and fluorescent light. A yellow overhead crane hooks onto the rocket section and lifts it off the trailer bed. Workers in white cleanroom suits guide it into the vertical integration frame with their gloved hands. The second trailer follows, then the third. By noon, all 3 sections hang vertically in the frame, nose to tail, ready to be joined. Outside, the empty trailers sit in a row on the concrete apron, their orange warning stripes faded under the bright sun. The pneumatic suspension on the second trailer is still set to full drop from the bridge crossing. A mechanic crouches beside it, resetting the air valves. The convoy drivers gather by a coffee truck in the parking lot. The rear axle operators stretch their legs. The foreman shakes the commander's hand. 160 kilometers, 3 bridges, 1 bad survey, and 8 centimeters that nearly stopped a space program. Inside the hangar, engineers are already bolting the sections together. In 4 months, this rocket will carry a satellite into orbit. But last night, it had to get past a concrete bridge first.